Heyo everyone, it's AJ, and today it's Monday. And you know what that means. It's Manga Monday! Yay! So today, amongst the mayhem that is Manga Monday mayhem, I am bringing you something very cute. Something that will hit that sweet tooth of yours. And my god, is it so fucking adorable. And if you don't like it, I don't know what's wrong with you. But anyway, the cute BL that I've been teasing for weeks is our dining table. Oh, this story, man, is so fucking cute. Oh, honestly, a one shot that's so adorable, and it just makes me so happy. It's just so cute. Oh, honestly, see, out of everything that I talk about for Manga Monday for this whole Mayhem month, if you only had to pick one, honestly, this. Oh, it's so good. So good. Also, it's so easy because it's only one volume. You cannot go wrong with a one shot of it. It's just so adorably sweet. Like, honestly, see, for like ages on TikTok, like, I've been seeing people talking about this, like, I was always recommended, and they're like, oh, what BL should you read? And this picked up, like, always, all the time, it was always picked, it was always, like, near the top. And I finally got it eventually. I'd been trying to get it for, like, a year, for a decent price. And I finally got it. And, oh my god, I do not regret it in the slightest. Oh. Hence why we're talking about it today. Also, the Scot in me just really wants to say our, so it's our dining table, and I'm just like, no, I need to say it correctly. Oh, so there is a chance I'm just going to end up saying our dining table, just because it's me. Yay. But anyway, the story is by Mito Ori, and I really need to look up anything else they have, because frankly, the perfection that is this, I need more. I genuinely just need more. So, in terms of BL status, it is I was about to say very weak. It's very slow paced, and it doesn't really focus superly on like relationships, like boy love to a degree. It's more just a relationship between like these three characters and just them developing each other. That is literally the root of this story. And it's all centered around food. So you know it's going to be good. You cannot go wrong with a food story. Oh. So the story follows Yukata, who is a salaryman that struggles to socialise, mostly because he can't eat around other people. So when he's like workmates and whatnot, invite him out for drinks and whatnot, he doesn't go. He always rejects, mostly because he doesn't feel comfortable eating or drinking around other people. So generally for his like lunch breaks and whatnot, he'll go off to like a remote park and like just eat his food there. Until one day he bumps into a little kid called Tani. And basically, Tani ends up eating half his lunch. Because it turns out that Yukata is actually quite a good chef and actually makes some delicious food. And frankly, I would really like some of that food. But doesn't matter, because moments later, this fine-ass gentleman, Minoru, basically appears, and it turns out it is his older brother. And through that is where these little three start their lovely little friendship. Oh, wee Tani is literally the most adorable little child. Honestly, they're the best fucking thing in this story. Oh, but anyway, Tani obviously in love with this man who makes the best food, and Minoru is obviously just thankful. So it's like, oh, obviously thankful that like nothing bad happened to his little brother, but just ran away from him when he was getting the shopping. But then like literally the next day, like Yukata literally goes back to the park again. Like he goes back to his wee area again, and lo and behold, the two of them are there. And Tani ends up giving Yukata a wee sweet. And it's just like, well, you gave me some of your food yesterday, so here's some of my food. And it's like this sweet little lollipop. And from there, he gets an invite to go to their house to show them how to make, like, the food that he makes. Like, big ass rice ball was like covered in seaweed and like with fillings and whatnot. Honestly, it was like massive. And so cute. Yukata agrees, even though like he doesn't do well with other people and whatnot and socializing. He just agreed without even thinking. It's just like so he thinks about it over the weekend and still decides, no, I'm going to go. I made a promise to this wee kid to teach him how to make the big ass rice ball that he loves so much. And he shows up, and Miru actually is so surprised that he's fucking there because he didn't genuinely think he was going to appear. I also love the fact that like they live in a place where like they live with their dad, and he does like ceramic things. So when Yukata like appears, he thinks that he's there for the ceramics thing. It's like, oh, you're here to do this, you hear that, you want to do this, and then he's like, then Yukata just goes, I'm actually here for the person that lives here. And he's just like, oh, he's like, my son has a friend. Oh, honestly, their dad is also just like a great character as well. Literally nearly everyone in this story is just amazing in their own ways. Emphasis on nearly all. There is some arseholes, but we'll get there. Oh, so Tani just been absolutely excited at the fact that the food man has appeared. And then actually shows them how to make it and whatnot. And then showing like, oh, you can put like all these different fillings in and whatnot. And then just as they're about to like eat them, Yukata's basically like, I'm going to peace out because I can't eat around other people, but you enjoy, sup, I'm off, boo. And then Miro's just like, and he's just like, nope, you're not going. And then Tani's like, why do you need to go? Please eat. It's like, please eat with me. Oh. Which then like leads to him explaining like, hey, I just can't eat around other people. And then Miro just goes like, rice ball to the fucking face. Right in the mouth. Just like, nah, eat it, bitch. But then he does. The three of them are just like sitting in a wee patio, just eating the big ass fucking rice balls. Oh. And then he's obviously thinking, it's like, holy shit, I'm actually enjoying eating food around other people. And then it's like, yay! That's so adorable. So then it ends up that basically Yakuta just goes like every like weekend, just goes over, makes food with them and eats food together. Which is so fucking adorable. And then there's one weekend that it's like, right, I'm going to teach you how to make curry. He's like, ooh, yes. And so like Tani is like so excited to the point where Miru actually phones him up in the morning and be like, hey, I know like you're not meant to come for like another hour, but can you come like now? Because he's way too excited to see you. He's like, yeah, that's fine, I'll just go. And he's like, right, we'll just meet you at the shops then. He was like, yeah, we'll meet you at the shops. So they're getting their ingredients for the curry and all that, and like, oh, Yakuta is so good with kids, honestly. See how he treats Tani is absolutely adorable. And he's like helping him, like, it's like, oh, do you want this? Do you want that in the curry and whatnot? And then here's when one of the dick characters appears. It turns out he's got a brother. And Yukata is not exactly chuffed. Because it turns out he forgot that there was an important thing that was meant to happen the same day that he was making curry with them. And it turns out it was his dad's 60th. Right, now you're thinking, wait. How could you forget his dad's 60th? Well, turns out that Yukata is actually adopted, and this is basically his adoptive father, and this is obviously his adoptive brother that he's talking to. And, well, the brother absolutely fucking hates Yukata. Like, honestly, you find out that Yukata basically lost his parents when he was very young, and then went and moved in with his grandparents, but then lost his grandparents not long afterwards. So then he got put in for like adoption and whatnot, and get adopted into a very, very rich kind of upper class family. And basically the older siblings instantly like rejected him, basically, especially the brother. The brother really holds a grudge against him even after all these years. And basically the trauma of them bullying him and whatnot, not wanting to be near him, and like, is literally what caused the food issue of like he ended up eating alone, because they would make comments about how he would eat things, because obviously he wasn't brought up in a posh kind of family, so he didn't have all the posh etiquette of like how to eat. So they would make remarks to the point where like he wouldn't eat in front of them, and this is obviously then developed into adulthood. So the brother's a dick and literally just has a go at him. He's like, well, it's nice to know that you're at least alive and I can tell them that, but like, I'm not surprised you won't be coming. It's like, I wonder why you're a fucking dick. So obviously Minoru sees that Yakuta's kind of like had a wee bit of a change. Like, obviously his mood's just kind of went, and he tries to help, be like, oh, do you want to like stop this? So like, if you have other plans, like, it's fine, we can delay the curry. And Yakuta's just like, no, I said we would make curry, we're making curry. And then Tani ends up being ill. But that doesn't matter, because they go back to the house and Yakuza just basically stays with him because Tani doesn't want him to go. Because the last time he'd went home when Tani was sleeping, and he was not chuffed with that. And he's just like, I need you to make me feel better. Oh. But then they end up doing it anyway, so it's all good. But, oh, like, a good like central theme of this story is like found family and whatnot, and it's so heartwarming, especially when it's just people with not like, well, I was going to say with broken families, but with difficult familiar like situations, because Minoru and Tani lost their mum when not that long after Tani was born, so Minoru has basically had to be the one to raise Tani and basically try and help things out, especially with obviously their dad having to work to make sure that they can obviously stay where they live and whatnot. And obviously the fact that Yakuta has obviously lost his like birth family, and then was almost somewhat rejected from his adoptive family. Like, them just coming together to somewhat like heal each other's wounds so that they can like move on with their lives. It's just so fucking sweet. Oh, like, it does obviously cover some kind of darker things, and obviously dealing with like familiar deaths and whatnot, but it's not a depressing story. Like, it literally, it's a story about hope. Like, it literally is. It's just like, just because like you might feel lonely now doesn't mean you're going to be alone forever. Like, that is literally what it's like for Yakuta. Like, he's always felt alone, and then, but because he's been so used to being alone, like, when him and Miru and like start building up, and like he obviously starts to feel less alone, like he panics for the fact that he might lose them, because he loses everybody and he doesn't want to feel alone again. The moment it kind of starts to build up is it gets to like Christmas time, and Miru basically, well, he tries to invite Yakuta over for Christmas, But Tani basically just gets straight in there, like, makes a little invitation and everything like that. Honestly, Tani is like the hugest cock block in this whole fucking story. Like, Minoru is just like, you need to stop. So, he invites him over for Christmas, he agrees. But then on Christmas Day, he ends up with a fever because he's so excited to not be spending Christmas alone. That is just heartbreaking, in fact, just saying that. But that doesn't matter, because even though he stays home and whatnot, Miru still goes over to make sure he's okay, and he makes sure he has something to eat and tries to, like, calm his fever down and whatnot, and it's so sweet. And then, because it's just the two of them, because generally they didn't have a lot of time, like, together alone, because Tani would always be like, hi! I'm here! Give me attention! Like, they try to get to know each other, and, like, Minoru obviously is like, tell me about yourself. And it's adorable. And then the next day, like, Yakuta's, like, a lot better, so then he goes over and gets his Christmas cake that he was promised. And the dad is clicked on but the fact that Minoru likes him. So he manages to get Tani away for, like, a wee bit of period so that they can be together, like, alone to talk. And that's when we find out the backstory of Yakutani. Like, he explains it. It's sad in how he portrays it, because wee Tani got, like wee drawing pencils and whatnot for Christmas, and he had a fuck ton of drawings, and one looked like Yakuta when he was younger. So he basically tells the story through the drawing. Like, he puts the drawing up to his face and covers himself, and the backstory is told, like, through, like, basically Tani's little drawings. And then when it's finishing, like, he's crying, because obviously it hurts. It's a hurtful story. And then literally at the point where Miru's going to try and connect with him, there we go, Tani just comes back in, cockspock again. And then, because Yakuta's crying, he freaks out. It's like, Miru made him cry! But not long afterwards, like, they're going up to New Year. And finally, they're alone together again, walking and whatnot. And Miru finally gets to say something for him and kisses him. And this is where the BL properly starts. And then, obviously, because it's a BL, there's obviously some slight drama instantly afterwards. He now panics at the fact that Yakuta's just not going to want to see him again, because he doesn't know how he feels. He doesn't know where he sits in the spectrum. He just kisses him because he has to, because he's basically fallen in love with him. And Yakuta is just confused for the fact that somebody would. So they split off, and then it's just a couple of days up to New Year, and Minoru is literally saying to Tani, it's like, there might be a chance that we might not see Yakuta again. And, like, because they were going to go to their first shrine thing together, because that's what they do in Japan. Like, after New Year, they go visit a shrine and, like, do their wishes for, like, the new year and whatnot. And they'd agreed to go do it together, which is fucking cute in itself. And then Tani's just like, wait, did you have a fight? No! Oh. But don't worry, Tani, it doesn't matter, because once New Year comes, it's all getting itself fixed. Literally, as the countdown is happening, Yakuta's literally clicked in his head. It's like, no, I want to kiss him back. And then runs at midnight and then grabs him. And then basically is like, I don't want you to... This will sound really weird, right? But trust me on this. It's like, I don't want you to stop touching me. Because the first time it happened, like, when Minoru kissed him, he's like, right, we'll do a handshake, and this is the tast time that we will touch, and then we'll try and go back to the way it was, because I don't want things to change. No, that's not how this works here. But... but no, it works out, and then They get together and then they move in together and then that's it. They just spend their time together, living together, making food, and eating together like a happy family. It is so adorable. And then, like, literally, like, Yakuza actually just moves in with them, like, literally just there. And then there's, like, a bonus chapter, like, afterwards of Tani. Like, it's like a young boy, like, teenager. And they're still, like, living together. And it's adorable. Oh, it's just so happy. Like, they're just so happy together. And it's just the most adorable little story. So yeah, pick it up. I swear, honestly, you'll not regret it. It is just such a sweet ass story. Like, even if you're not into, like, BLs as much, honestly, it is... No, this is just a sweet story about people just coming together and... You can tell I'm emotional about this story. Honestly, I think hands down this is now my favourite BL. Like, I am making a huge fucking claim. I have a decent amount there. And this is my favourite. And the fact that it's so easy because it's only one volume, you don't need to worry about trying to collect other volumes or if the story is ongoing or anything like that. No. Done and dusted. Sweet. The artwork's so nice. What more can you want? What more can you want? It also has food and they give you like a slight description about like how to make the food. It's not like Food Wars where it gives you like whole bloody recipes and whatnot for some things. But honestly, if you want a BL, get this. End of. I need to stop praising it for the high heavens because I think I could spend like an hour just basically moaning about how this should be in your collection. And if it's not, like, what's wrong with you? Go get it. It's so nice. It just warms you up from the inside because it's just so goddamn heartwarming and adorable. And I think I'm probably biased because I really love found family tropes. So there we go. There is another little Manga Monday for you. A nice new recommendation, a nice new BL. And please appreciate how happy this one is because see next week. Oh, the pain. I am literally bringing probably the worst manga in my collection. It hurts. And it's terrifying. And it is not for the light-hearted. So this is essentially the last episode for this month anyway for Manga Monday Mayhem that is accessible to all because next week we'll have a warning at the beginning of the episode. It's that bad. Yay! Depression! But anyway, until next time, I'm AJ and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!